Hey everyone, it's Saul Maraney from Cape Town, South Africa, and it's a pleasure to speak to you tonight. And I've got one of my favorite marketers on the call. That is Floren. Reed is an amazing young guy. He's 29 years old. He lives in St. Pete in the USA. And Reed, thank you so much for talking to me tonight. I really appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me on, Saul. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Oh, wonderful. Thanks, Reed. And I've told you this before, but I think I've been on your list for probably about 10 years. At least 10 years. And you've stayed up with the times, and you just continue to bring out amazing work. And for people that have never met you before, I'm sure most people on my list know about you, but just tell us, who is Reed Floren? And you're a super young guy doing amazing stuff. How have you been able to achieve such greatness at such a young age?
Well, the secret is I started at a much younger age. I've been doing this online marketing thing since I was 13, so back in '99. So I've really kind of been with it since the beginning. I haven't worked any jobs or applied for any jobs or gone to school or anything like that. I've just focused on this, mastering this, and trying out a bunch of different marketing strategies. And some things work, some things don't, and I like to report on the things that work for me and share those successes with my audience and with my friends. And so that's, I guess, kind of me in a nutshell. I guess a lot of people know me more for list building and for doing a lot of like joint venture stuff, a lot of affiliate marketing, and then I do have my own products, and I do speak at different seminars and stuff like that.
Yeah, you do, Reed. And I know that you're a guy almost after my own heart. I know that you've made some mistakes. You've been divorced, but you've certainly given the message to me that you never give up, and you keep on going. And as you say, you try things that some things work, some things don't work. But I've still got the recordings of the JV Zoo panels that you've been on, and you've made a massive impact on my life. And before we go into your new product that you're launching now, my question is, and it's a real question, how do you just find almost the energy to continue on all the time? And you communicate with your list, and you've got people from all over the world that I know wait to hear from you, because I wait to hear from you. What is that internal fire that you got, almost that's just so palatable in even every email that you send out? Like, what gives you that extra drive to keep on going each day?
Well, I feel a lot of it is I've learned so much about this over the years, and I've made a ton of mistakes, and it's really my job to help people eliminate as many of those possible mistakes as possible. So I like being the guinea pig and trying a whole bunch of different things out, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, and then reporting back on, hey, well, here's what worked for me, here's what didn't work, so maybe you don't do that part. And that's what I like to do, and I feel that's kind of my obligation to people, is to share what I've learned and to kind of make things easy, I guess, for people, to really streamline different things for them to make it easier to understand, easier to digest, so they can take action on it and they can see results a lot faster. And I guess that's what I like to focus on. And I find that very rewarding when I do that, and I feel that it really helps a lot of people out. So that's, I guess, kind of my calling.
Well, that's great to hear. That's really, as I say, you've been a guy that's been a major impact in my life. Way before I became friends with you, I was on your list. And I think one of the things that have made me almost stand out also, Reed, is that I take the time to study. Like, whenever I get review copies, I actually learn this stuff, and I love learning. And as we were discussing for a few moments before we got on the call, is that one of my goals was to move to Cape Town, which Cape Town is a city here in South Africa, and it's great to be with my kids. And thank God I have achieved that goal. And every day I have to maintain it, because I've got costs, and it's quite an expensive city. But what's important to see, and that's what comes through in your work, and I'm part of the community, the IM community, and it's so important to see. And I'd like your input on this quickly, just before we talk about your very relevant new product. Is that, for example, like in South Africa, like when you look at people like even say black people or Cape colored people, it's just that it's quite interesting to see is that a lot of people are stuck in a mindset, like, for example, their parents didn't go to university, and they're probably not going to go to university, and even like with the mindset in terms of like internet marketing is just amazing, is that you've shown, and proof of that is that every time we send out an email, we make money, we make dollars. There's a lot of people all over the world that can like really improve their life from the input that we give. And my question for you is, just before we jump into your new product, and it's just reflecting on a recent interview that we did a while ago. For for people, there's so many people that are interested in internet marketing and buying even product after product. What do you see the difference, like mainly in terms of like inner game stuff? What separates people that are going to win in 2016 to people that will just continue buying product after product and even like self-sabotage themselves and not put into action? What do you see the difference in, like, what makes you different to people that just never come over to the seller side of information almost?
Well, I mean, a few things. People jump around from thing to thing. That's always a problem. You're better to master one thing and then get into the next thing. For instance, right before this call, you were talking about how you still do the list building stuff, and you do CPA, and you've got your Shopify store, but you didn't all start all those on the same day. From what I recall, you many years ago, you were doing hypnosis products, and I don't know if you still do any of that now, but you were doing that, and then you switched gears to more doing like the internet marketing, email, list building stuff, and you mastered that, and you started creating your own products and started winning contests and things like that. Then you took those skills and you started doing CPA marketing, and you mastered that, and now you're making a nice daily income on there while you're still got your other businesses going. Then you started your Shopify store and ramp that up to success. And that's the way to do it. You get things going and you make them successful, and then you can try something else. A lot of people go in there and they go, oh, I want to try 25 different things today, and they have no real plan, they have no real goal, no objective. They're just like, I want to make money, and they don't think about it. They don't think about the lifestyle they want. They don't think about the legacy they want to leave. They don't think about the lives that they're going to impact and how they're going to do it. And so that's a major stumbling block that I see a lot of people do. Another thing is, you want to fail fast, you want to fail often, and you want to fail forward. Life is all about failure. The only way that you're going to achieve success is through failure. Failure comes before success in the dictionary, and it comes that way in life too. So you need to fail. You need to go out there and make mistakes. Life is about making mistakes. That's the only way you learn. A lot of people go out there and they're like, oh, I can't do anything because I might make a mistake. And it's like, well, if that's the case, then you probably shouldn't have ever learned how to walk or crawl, because the first time you did it, you didn't do it right. And now today and for many years, you've been able to do that, for most people. And so I guess that's a major thing. People don't know how to read a book the first time they see a book. They have to work for it. They have to realize how to do it, and they have to learn how to do it. You see a math problem for the first time. You don't know just intuitively how to do something. You have to be taught or learn how to do it. This is just something that people seem really afraid of. They seem very fearful of mistakes. I think that's something that our education and society has kind of forced us to believe that. But if we take a step back and realize that throughout human history and evolution, it's all about making mistakes and making errors. I mean, I've heard that it took Thomas Edison 10,000 tries to make the light bulb. I don't know if that story is true or not, but that's 10,000 failures. And a lot of people would just quit, and that would mean we wouldn't have light right now. So looks like you've got a light on at your place. I have a light on at my place. I mean, I'm really thankful that Thomas Edison didn't give up on his 9,999th try.
That's so true. You're 100% right. And, it's just important to hear it from your mouth. And I disagree. So I totally agree so much. I mean, even if you look at, for example, something like CPA, cost per action is that I failed and I failed and I failed, and I was sick of failing. And I actually finally got a coach, and, I've got 2 campaigns. One is doing really well at the moment, and the other one is doing okay. But exactly what you say. I mean, he just taught me how to focus. And I think, it's just that when one has that burning desire, exactly what you say, there's just no second option. And from what I've seen from you is that you've never had a job and you'd like to keep it that way, which is the same thing for me. It's like I've made this major move in my life, but I believe that like even my dad and maybe my brother and one or two well-meaning people want to see me come back with my tail between my legs, which I refuse to do. And that, for me, that takes constant inner game stuff, and it takes constant focus. And that's why I'm very excited about your new product, Reed. Let's talk about that. You've come out with a product now that is very interesting and very timely, and you're talking about LinkedIn. Now, I have actually got an interesting background that I sold life insurance for 12 years before I went full-time into internet marketing. But in my last year of actually selling insurance, quite funny enough, is that I started doing LinkedIn and I had major success. And that's why this actually touches quite a like a warm spot in my heart, because I know that LinkedIn it's like a grown-up Facebook, and it's very interesting, but a lot of people are just really haven't gone there yet. And you've come out with a cheat sheet that you're going to be launching now. Can you tell us, for people that invest in your course, what's so important about LinkedIn, and particularly like your product? What I find is that it's almost like a fast track cheat sheet way as what you're offering, so guys can get stuck into LinkedIn. So my question is, basically for someone that's listening, what is the advantage of being LinkedIn? What's the advantage of being on LinkedIn? And for someone that invests like, just this couple of bucks into your product, what are they going to be receiving?
Sure. Well, LinkedIn is definitely a grown-up version of Facebook. It is definitely business professionals. It's people that are very serious. They have, they're either in sales, or they have a business of their own, or they're some sort of corporate type gig. So you can get a lot of business through LinkedIn. There's a lot of potentials for business. There's a lot of people that you can contact. It's not people just posting, silly cat videos on Facebook. These are people that are very serious. They're very determined. You can connect with them. People use LinkedIn to get jobs. They get interviews. They get business through products that they want to sell to various people that they find on LinkedIn. They get speaking engagements. There's a lot of things you can do with LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is really going to have quite the year this year. It seems like, I don't know if people are abandoning Facebook right now, but it seems like a lot of people are kind of at a point where they're getting kind of bored with Facebook, and people are getting kind of where they want to grow up and become a little more focused. I'm seeing more and more people spending more time on LinkedIn and being more interested in LinkedIn as of late. I've seen a lot of predictions online about how 2016 is going to be the year of LinkedIn, that a lot of people are going to be flocking to LinkedIn. I don't know if that's something to do with the economy, or if that's what is the driving force there, but it seems like there is a driving force that a lot of people want to get on LinkedIn right now. It's definitely a maturing market. People on LinkedIn make a lot more money than people on Facebook. There's I can't remember what the averages are, but I think it was the average LinkedIn user makes over $100,000 a year, and the average Facebook user makes under $40,000 a year or something like that. It's a big gap. And so there's just a lot more potential for a lot more money if you're in marketing or sales through LinkedIn. You can find a lot of business owners or a lot of sales professionals that you can connect with and do business with. Now, in this LinkedIn cheat sheet, it's a one-page resource, but it lets you search 40 different resources about LinkedIn. So for instance, you can click a button and you can search Google, or you can search Yahoo, or you can search Bing and find out information. You can search YouTube for videos on LinkedIn. You can search Amazon for best-selling products or books on LinkedIn. You can click a button and search Warrior Plus or JVZoo or ClickBank to find a product to promote about LinkedIn. You can find articles on Easing articles. You can search through all the For Dummies books and find the content they have about LinkedIn. They do a lot of research when they write a book. There's sites like Quora that you can click, and that you click on that, and that'll look for a bunch of questions people asked about LinkedIn. So it gives you a lot of starting points. It's great for someone who's maybe brand new to LinkedIn and they want to learn how to use LinkedIn. It's also useful for someone who's maybe creating a blog post or other like training content. They can click these links and it'll open up in a new window, and they can research LinkedIn within minutes and know a lot of stuff that's going on. It's also great for someone who's a LinkedIn marketing professional or an expert on the topic, so they can keep abreast of all the changes in LinkedIn. And sites like this change all the time, so you need to stay up to date. So it's a really great starting point. And I feel a lot of people who get a lot of great free training because of it, because you can just click on these links and it'll load these sites up in the new windows, and you can devour tons of content and training on LinkedIn that's free that would have otherwise been very hard for you to find if you were just searching Google by yourself. This is really kind of a power user's guide to using LinkedIn, because you can just stay up to date with all these different topics just by clicking links whenever you feel like it, and you can get some more information. Then obviously you can change your search parameters once you've gone to the site. So let's say you click on YouTube and you do LinkedIn. You clicked on the LinkedIn button for YouTube. Well, once you get to YouTube, you could change your search query to LinkedIn marketing or LinkedIn SEO, and you could find all sorts of different videos related to those topics, and it just speeds up the process for researching. Some other things that are included: you're going to get access to a Facebook group where we've got well over 1,000 members in there that are customers of mine, who you can interact with, you can network with, you can learn from. We also have different webinars that we're going to be doing, like a webinar every week with different LinkedIn experts, and they're going to share with you how they use LinkedIn to make their full-time income. And these experts are doing 6 and 7 figures a year just marketing on LinkedIn. So you're going to learn exactly how they do it through these live training calls.
Nice. Nice. Well, that's what I like about it. First of all, I think what's very interesting, and I take my hat off to you, and for guys that know Reed had that, he had a very high priced, high level ticket internet marketing course, and I know that in the last year, Reed, and I supported you. I think it was even like in the last 2 years, you stripped that down, and you had one on list building and one on just on the different elements of internet marketing. And I like what you've done now with this cheat sheet, is that basically you have, you compressed a lot of the information that and you packaged it, and quite like what you say. I mean, I think for anyone that's watching this, guys, you could basically go and do your own research and get this for free if you spent hours on Facebook and on YouTube, but you're going to go down a lot of dark holes. It's going to waste a lot of your time. And Reed has put this together where it is a cheat sheet. It's showing you, as he says, it's like different articles. So what came to my mind is that that can be put into blog posts, and one can learn about how to repackage that even as an audio and a video. And I think that, like, as I said to you, I've used LinkedIn before when I was doing insurance, and I know that it works, and I have neglected LinkedIn, and I think it's just another very powerful resource to be able to use. And I congratulate you that at least you've been able to package this information in such a way that it is a cheat sheet. So that's what it is. It's not theoretical, but at the same time, for anyone that invests in it, like you, saving them a lot of time to be able to have this information at your disposal. Because it's like CPA, for example, like there's a lot of tons of free videos online, and there's forums, but the day, Reed, that I invested in a coach and listened to what he showed me, is that I started making money instead of trying to work it out myself. And I think that that's what the LinkedIn cheat sheet achieves. Congratulations. I've been fortunate enough to go through it myself, and it's actually given me a bit of a kick up my bum to actually start getting involved in LinkedIn again. So that's great. I think it's also good about the Facebook group, because you're making it attainable for people to put this into practice, because unless we act on these ideas, and unless we've got people to bounce ideas off, oftentimes it just gets shelved, this information. And I know, like, especially living in South Africa, is that, like, I really don't have, even like my girlfriend, like she can't relate to what I do online. And at least if you are in a Facebook group with people that understand and that support you, it makes all the difference. So Reed, congratulations, you put together this product, and I'm going to be supporting you. I've got some nice bonuses I put together as well. Let's just go over the quick details for the launch. You're launching this Friday, what time will you be going live, and what will be the opening price?
We're going to go live at 11 a.m. Eastern time, and the starting price will be $1. So it's going to be $1, and we're going to go up by a penny per sale. So I expect that price to go up rapidly. So you'll want to look for Saul's email right away in the morning there, and grab this. And you're getting the cheat sheet, you're getting the access to the Facebook group, plus you're getting the live webinar calls. So that's a lot of information that you're getting for just $1. You're getting a lot of time saving. I mean, really what you mentioned, this is a time saving utility. This is a great way to save time. And that's a great way to save money, because I was just shocked by when I was clicking on the links myself, how much I was learning about LinkedIn, because I'm by no means a LinkedIn expert myself. I rely on other people to give me LinkedIn knowledge and training and coaching on it. But I was able to click on things, and I learned a bunch just watching some of the videos it was showing to me, and seeing some of the Twitter messages and Facebook messages people were putting out, and looking at the questions people were asking, and even looking at like tables of contents of books about LinkedIn, going, oh, so that's the kind of stuff people want to know about this, and oh, you can do that with LinkedIn, I didn't know. And looking at like easy articles and all blog posts, news things, it was really cool just by clicking on a few links, and you could find all sorts of stuff. It was a great way to even find potential products to promote that were LinkedIn related just by clicking on some links. So I'm even using the product myself to kind of learn how I'm going to be marketing more LinkedIn stuff in the future. So I think it's kind of ironic in that way that it's like, oh, I'm kind of using it myself to be better at LinkedIn. So I figure if it helps me, it'll help other people.
Congratulations, and 100% agree. And even for small things, is that oftentimes we take for granted what we know. I mean, I had this best-selling WSO on how to do these Google Hangouts, and I've used it so many times since then, and it's such an honor and such a pleasure to know how to do a Google Hangout. Even now, is that like relating to exactly what you're saying, is that I went to Hangouts on Air and I set it up and I sent you the link, and here we are on a Google Hangout, and it's become second nature to me. But there's still thousands and thousands and thousands of people out there that don't know how to do, for example, a Google Hangout, and the replay is branded by Google, and it's an amazing capability to have. And there's just so many people that like scratch their head and don't know how to do a Google Hangout. And exactly what you're saying, and that's what we were saying earlier, is that, guys, I dedicate myself to at least 2 hours of study a day, and that's I don't have a formal job. I do this full time, but at the same time, I'm learning every day. So pick up a copy of this LinkedIn cheat sheet. But first and foremost is like, go through it yourself and just enjoy it and start learning it and start implementing it, because there's so many professionals on LinkedIn. There's amazing stuff that you can do. I know that, as I said, when I was doing insurance, I mean, I was able to contact people that I would never have been able to contact. But again, like, if you don't use it, it's a shame. And really making available, this feels almost like a bit of a Bob Ling sort of product, Reed, that you put together, the cheat sheet.
Very similar. I even reached out to her to make sure she was okay with it. And last I heard, she's on board for promoting. So I talked to her actually a couple months ago about it, because I was like, well, I'm thinking about doing some cheat sheets, and I know you've done some, and out of respect, I wanted to send you a review copy to see what you thought of the direction of where I was going. And she was very supportive. So that's great.
Wonderful. Well, that's great. I mean, I'm a big supporter of hers, and guys, this is one of those products, and I would encourage you to pick it up and learn about LinkedIn, because if you're not on LinkedIn, you should be, and it's exciting. And also, go through the way that Reed has packaged this. Have a look at the way that he set it out, because I firmly believe that this is achievable for anyone to put out this sort of information. And Reed, because you've actually put out you've invested the time and you've made this digestible, you should only be blessed with a great launch. And congratulations on putting out this information. I just wish you all the best of luck. So guys, that's this Friday. Reed said it's 11 a.m. EST. It's like $1 to get this cheat sheet. You're going to be getting a lot more value in there. Reed is one guy, 100% for sure, that he values his clients. I've been a long-time client of Reed for a long time. And, Reed, just today, I mean, there was like a lot of complaints about a new software that's out on the market that maybe hasn't been tested enough. And it just remains very difficult to be able to know who we can trust online. And for anyone that's watching this, guys, Reed gets my highest recommendation. I can put my whole reputation on Reed because I've met him in person and he's just a wonderful guy. And Reed, let's close up this interview. And I like to ask this question, and I'm going to ask you again. For anyone that's watching and that really wants to make a go of this year in terms of internet marketing, and we talk about focus and we talked about self-belief, but give us one more bit of information or one more golden nugget for someone that wants to make a success of themselves. What's that one thing that you've seen over all these years of someone that has made it in internet marketing as compared to someone that just fizzles out?
Well, I mean, another major thing is this business is all about relationships. So you need to focus on relationships. I mean, we've been Facebook friends for 7 or 8 years. I know I just saw something the other day where it notified me about like some memory of ours from way back on Facebook. So it's like we've done a ton in the last year and a half or so, where we've really, become really close friends, and we've done a lot of promotion together, and we've, randomly talked to each other about different things. And so that is a big secret about it, is go out there and network. LinkedIn is a great place to network. Facebook is a great place to network. There's all sorts of different ways you can do it, YouTube. But I mean, I would focus with LinkedIn and Facebook. Those are by far the 2 biggies right now. They're the heavyweight champions. I think LinkedIn is really making a major push this year. I think this is the year of LinkedIn. We're going to see, not that Facebook's going to go away anytime soon, but I think we're going to see a lot more people getting on LinkedIn that are very serious about their business and using it more and more. The other thing is, go to events, go to seminars. I know we went, San Diego, that we went to Marketing Mayhem together, and that's where you got injured. I think you landed in New York, and that's where you got injured on your way to San Diego. And by doing events and doing live events like this and going to those and meeting people, that really changes things. I mean, that's definitely opened the doors for you in the past few months since then. I guess that was March, or probably March. Things have really changed for you in your business. You've got a couple different kind of side businesses going that are bringing in great revenue every day. You've moved close to your kids. You're in the same town as them. You've got this great positive mental attitude. I've seen you connected with people that you weren't connected with before. Bigger names and things like that. So I think it's really been a major leap forward for you, and that's the same for just about anyone who goes to an event. I went to my first event in 2005, and I started marketing online in '99. And so that was, several years, 6 years there, where I was really kind of floundering around, not really knowing what I was doing. I made some money, but I didn't make enough to really make a go of it. It was great for a kid. I was still a teenager at the time, but it wasn't anything to make a living on. And then, I went to the live event, and that was Phoenix, Arizona for the first one I went. And then a few months later, I went to another one in Texas, and then so on and so forth. I just kept going to events, and things just took off for me. I started building my list. I started making great connections with people in my income and list size, and just everything just kind of went and just exploded since then. So it's been a great thing for me, and it's a great thing for everyone else. You need to realize this is all about relationships. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. We've done, maybe 10 or so of these hangouts together, probably more than that now, with some other ones where we've been on calls with some other people, and we've both been on a call with them. And we've done a lot of these things together, and that wouldn't happen if we weren't friends, and we wouldn't be doing these different things together if we didn't have that friendship and that relationship. I mean, Saul's been one of my top affiliates for many different products. I know I've promoted various products of Saul's as well, and we've also connected each other with different people, and that's just grown things for us because we've taken the time to become friends with each other. So really get out of your shell, go out and network with people. If you can't afford to go to a live event, at least use LinkedIn or Facebook to communicate with people and become friends with them. But I do highly encourage you to go to a seminar, first one you get, if there's one near you or at least in your country. I mean, you flew, I don't know, 12 hours or so to come in, maybe more than that, to come into San Diego. So that was a long flight for you. You definitely put in a lot of effort, a lot of energy, and a lot of money to go that far and to get there and stay for a week or so that you were there. And that's, it's a major commitment. And I think that's another thing. When people go to an event, they're putting up a major commitment. They're like, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to be successful at it. Or they're already at some point kind of successful and they're taking it to the next stage, to the next level. So get out there, press the flesh, meet people.
Nice. Well, Reed, thank you. That's such wonderful advice, and I just couldn't agree more. I mean, events are just so important. It was a major turning point for me in this industry was the San Diego, and then I went to Liverpool, and I will be at Mayhem again this year, and I'm going to be going to Dublin. And I agree. It's just to get out your shell. It's almost like Tinder. It's like if people are coming on Tinder, it means that they want to date, and it's the same thing about LinkedIn. People are willing to do business, and Facebook. Even I have to pinch myself often is that I've got friends like you and associates like you all over the world, and the technology makes it available, but at the same time it's the consistency, and you've always had an air about you that I think that people know that you are genuine and that you care, and there are no shortcuts, but it's achievable by anyone, because if I've been able to be successful at it and I failed at so many things as you say that you did as well, I mean, it's totally achievable. So guys, this has been Saul Maraney from South Africa, Cape Town, South Africa. I've been talking to Reed Floren. I encourage you to pick this up. I mean, in terms of an investment, it's a no-brainer. Plus, you should get into Reed's inner circle. I know that Reed, just a little bit off the topic, he introduced me to John Thornhill, that I purchased some of John Thornhill's offers through Reed, and Reed has just led me to amazing guys. And as Reed was saying, is that none of it would be available or possible without networking. Every single day I get so many requests to promote, so I'm getting free products, and again, that's being part of the community. And Reed, you've always given that community feels that you like to help people. And I think with LinkedIn as well, is that what we take for granted, like LinkedIn, as I saw in your cheat sheet, has got even that blogging platform. There's so many platforms within this software. I mean, I saw that I was reading an article that something like $40 billion have been actually invested into LinkedIn. So guys, I mean, if you know what a powerful engine that is, $40 billion, I mean, like it's worth just coming onto their platform and using it, because like it's a real corporation, and it's a listed company, and it's a with a bit of a cheat sheet and a bit of applying yourself, I know that you're going to all benefit from it. So Reed, congratulations. I wish you all the best of luck. I hope to see you at an event soon. Saul Maraney from South Africa. Just believe in yourself. Pick this up. It's coming out on Friday. And yeah, just all the best of luck to you. Reed, thanks so much. I'll speak to you soon, my friend.
Thank you, Saul.
Great.